You need a new master.
No. No.
No.
Mr. Stark.
No. Doom. Loki. Leave the kid alone. So, you came back to die? Not this time.
Good day, heroes and Hollywood detectives. Welcome back to Movie News Daily, where we peel back the curtain on Marvel's biggest meltdowns. And oh boy, today's one is a cinematic earthquake. Rumors are exploding across Tinseltown that several top Avengers, Doomsday cast members have stormed off set after a fiery argument with Marvel's top brass. That's right, your favorite superheroes might be fighting a war, not against Dr. Doom, but against Disney itself. But before we dive into the chaos, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, because if the Avengers are walking out, you do not want to miss who's slamming the door next. Alright, let's unpack this superpowered scandal. It all started during last week's Doomsday production meeting in Los Angeles, where Marvel executives, including Kevin Feige himself, allegedly clashed with several key cast members over creative changes to the film's third act. Reports claim the issue boiled down to one word: control. According to one insider, and these are people who've been frighteningly accurate about Marvel drama before, the studio wanted to rework major scenes to make the ending more commercially appealing. Translation: less darkness, more one-liners, and definitely no emotional trauma for the kids. But the cast, led by none other than Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch, apparently pushed back hard, insisting that the story's tone needed to stay true to its title. Doomsday should feel like, well, the end of everything. Now, here's where the story takes a wild turn. Multiple sources claim that during this heated discussion, one actor, rumored to be Cumberbatch himself, walked out mid-meeting, saying he refused to be part of a watered-down vision. And if that wasn't dramatic enough, another leak claims that Elizabeth Olsen followed shortly after, saying Marvel had turned Wanda's character into a side plot for nostalgia. Imagine the Scarlet Witch dropping the MIC and storming off while Kevin Feige's soul temporarily leaves his body. That's the kind of cinematic energy we live for. But wait, it gets even spicier. Some crew members say that Robert Downey Jr., yes, Iron Man himself, backed the studio during the argument. Apparently, he's pushing for a lighter tone to balance out the film's intensity. One insider said, Downey kept saying, the audience needs hope, not despair. Which, coming from the guy who literally died saving the universe, is both poetic and ironic. Naturally, that didn't sit well with everyone. Olsen and Cumberbatch reportedly believe that Doomsday is Marvel's chance to break out of the predictable formula, to show that heroes can lose, worlds can burn, and not every story needs a happy ending. Their exact words, according to one witness, if it's called Doomsday, let it feel like one. But Marvel's marketing department sees things differently. Disney executives, terrified of another Eternal-sized flop, apparently demanded rewrites that would make the final act more accessible to mainstream audiences. In corporate speak, that means more jokes, fewer tears, and possibly another dance sequence. Now, here's where the walkout went nuclear. Sources from inside Pinewood Studios claim that filming was suspended for nearly 2 days while the studio scrambled to resolve the dispute. Several high-profile actors refused to shoot their scenes until a compromise was reached. And when you've got dozens of crew members, millions of dollars in equipment, and a ticking release date, that's not a delay, that's a disaster. Feige, for his part, has reportedly been running damage control, holding private calls with the cast to smooth things over. But the damage might already be done. Word around the studio lot is that morale on set has plummeted, and crew members are jokingly calling the film Avengers, Doomsday, behind-the-scenes edition. And the fans? Oh, the internet is eating this up. Social media exploded the moment whispers of the walkout hit the web. The hashtags hashtag Wanda deserves better and hashtag let Doomsday be dark have been trending for days. One tweet summed it up perfectly. If Marvel's scared of making Doomsday too dark, maybe they should rename it Avengers. Slightly cloudy afternoon. Brutal. What makes this even juicier is the timing. Just last month, Marvel faced another round of criticism for creative interference during Deadpool and Wolverine post-production. Many are now calling it a pattern, a studio so obsessed with formulaic success that it's losing the magic that made it legendary. And look, we get it. The MCU's in a tricky spot. Fans are older, expectations are sky high, and superhero fatigue is real. But if even the actors are starting to rebel against the formula, maybe the real Doomsday isn't happening on screen. It's happening inside the studio boardroom. Now, to be fair, insiders close to Feige insist that creative differences are normal and that everything's back on track, which is exactly what every studio says when the fire alarms are still ringing. But the fact that multiple A-list actors were willing to walk out, even temporarily, suggests this isn't your average disagreement. This feels like a battle for the soul of the MCU. If the darker, riskier version of Doomsday wins out, we might get Marvel's first truly mature epic, a story that pushes boundaries and breaks hearts. But if the executives get their way, we could be staring down another shiny, predictable blockbuster that plays it safe. So, who's right? The studio that built the most successful cinematic universe in history, or the actors who want to take risks and tell stories that actually evolve? Personally, I say, let the creatives create. Marvel became great by trusting visionaries. It would be poetic if Doomsday became the moment they remembered that. And if this walkout tells us anything, it's that the Avengers aren't just saving the world. They're trying to save their own franchise. Thank you for watching, Legends. Do not forget to subscribe to Movie News Daily, hit that notification bell, and tell me in the comments, whose side are you on? Team Studio or Team Stars? Because one thing's for sure, this Doomsday battle is only getting started.